Honorable Member of Parliament from Indore, the very beloved Shankar Lalwani ji, and Director from IIM Indore, Himanshu Rai ji, and our dear friend Savan, and members from the CII, student community, IT community, and all the dignitaries and guests that are present here. A very good afternoon to each and every one of you. I'm very happy to be participating in this session of Pride of Madhya Pradesh. So thank you once again for inviting me here. This is my first time in Indore. I have been a member of parliament for the last 10 years, but I never got the opportunity. And this being a minister, I had one program at the airport, and I'm very, very happy to finally visit the city and see in person why Indore is called the cleanest city in the country. So I'm very, very happy to be here, first of all. And it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. Yesterday, in fact, I was in Kolkata celebrating 100 years of the Kolkata airport, the rich legacy, the rich tradition that the airport had. And I was just trying to imagine how the airport sector has grown over the years in the country of India. And Savan was already mentioning how airports have now become the major economic centers in the country. Airports are no longer places which are taking you from one point to another point. Wherever there is an airport today, you're seeing that they have become the centers for job creation. They are driving the trade and commerce activity. They are driving tourism. They are driving agriculture. They are driving many other industries, and airport has become the nodal point from where the birth of this whole growth takes place. And I'm sure that Indore also believes in that, and the kind of belief that you have on airports. I want to assure from the ministry side that I'm going to give full support to the Indore airport so that whatever dreams that you have in entering the Indore airport, that I'm going to ensure that it's going to be done. And the most important one, I believe, is the international connectivity. And that is the beauty of the new India that we have today. Earlier, if you see, Indore would have imagined that how is my connectivity with Bhopal? How is my connectivity with Jabalpur? Or how is my connectivity with the neighboring states, let it be rail or road? But now Indore is aspiring to have connectivity to the America, connectivity to Bangkok, connectivity to Singapore, connectivity to Dubai. So this is the change in mindset the younger generation of India today is having. And I feel that Indore is leading that revolution today. So all kudos to each and every one of you who is in this startup ecosystem and trying to do something, trying to bring the change in the ecosystem today. And when we talk about IT, the power of IT, which I strongly believe in because I come from a party which is led by IT revolutionary, which is Nara Chandrababu Naidu garu. I'm from Telugu Desam party, and no matter what history you talk about IT in India, you definitely have to talk about Nara Chandrababu Naidu garu. He was the visionary, the revolutionary who completely believed that if India had any advantage in any sector, that it was IT. He believed that Indians had a natural advantage to excel in IT. That is because of English language and mathematics. We are superb in these two subjects, and he felt that if we can capitalize on the strengths that we have in these subjects and try to utilize it in the IT sector, then we will have an advantage which no other country would have. And he started on this profession 25 years back, 28 years back, and that is what laid the foundation for Hyderabad today. And Hyderabad, if you look at the history, Microsoft, which only used to be there in Seattle, that was the only campus they had. Our boss Chandrababu Naidu went to Seattle, sat with Bill Gates there, talked to him. What was supposed to be 5-minute meeting, he extended it to 45 minutes. He was like a CEO giving him presentations why you should move out of Seattle and why you should come to India. And he convinced him in those 40 minutes. And when he said, I'm going to come to India, his last request was, if you come to India, please come to Hyderabad. I'm going to facilitate with whatever needs you have. So that is how Microsoft in India started. It started in Hyderabad. And once the Microsoft came in, all the other players which were in the IT sector, they got the confidence that we can also go to India, we can also go to these cities. And now rest is history. We are seeing that many cities in India right now are following the IT revolution. And today Indore is also following that. And a lot of people who are in this IT, I still feel that India has a very good advantage in this sector. And now moving from the metro cities to the tier 2 cities, which are creating a lot of advantage on many different aspects, I think we have to tap into it, and Indore has that great potential. So I wish you all the best, whoever is in this IT sector, all the people who are trying to do startups, who are trying to set up their companies in this IT sector, I wish you all the best. And in fact, I'll tell you a little bit about what we are trying to do in the airports also. After me coming and see last 10 years, under the leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, in 2014 when he began his Prime Ministership, we had 74 airports in the country. And he had the vision that if India has to grow, India has to be a superpower in the world, then we have to increase our civil aviation network. And it was under his guidance. It was his thought that 74 airports for India is not the number we should be having. And in the last 10 years, he did a complete revolution in civil aviation sector. And the number that I'll share now, that in 2024, how many we have? We have 158 airports. We have doubled the number of airports in the country. Last 60 years, we've had 74 airports, but in the last 10 years, we have 158 airports. Let it be a tier 2 city, tier 3 city, or any random place, we were just continuously building airports and pumping in that infrastructure into the civil aviation system. And now because of that, the number of people who are traveling by air has also doubled. Now what used to be 20 crore, now it has gone up to 40 crore. So the growth sector, growth in civil aviation has come very strongly in the last 10 years. But me, after taking charge as the Minister for Civil Aviation, I have seen that now we have a very streamlined system. Now see, after 8 years, I was asking Shankarji also, do you still need to motivate people to have that cleanliness in the Indore system? Then it's like everything is set up, everything is streamlined now. Now from morning to night, what everyone has to do, everything is in line, and nobody has to kind of push them to do this and that. Everyone has the idea of what to do. So likewise, in aviation now, I see that if you give me a piece of land, then we can build the airport immediately. We have that kind of expertise today. We have the rules, we have the regulations, we have all the laws, international conventions and everything. We know what best we can do with what parcel of land, and we can build the airport, we can make the planes land. But that is not what I'm looking. We need to upgrade from here now. So we need to see what services we can offer to our passengers so that we can make them very much unique, and we tap into the complete potential that airports have to offer. So we are not only looking at transporting people from one place to other, not only giving them connectivity from one place to other, we are seeing what are the expanded services that can be attached to the airport. Now, first thing we talk about is the real estate. We see that whenever there is an airport, talking about an airport, the whole real estate around the airport suddenly surges up. So the real estate market is something which is very interesting thing around the airport that we can work out with. And on top of that, the tourism sector. Once you have that connectivity, once you have people coming in from different places, how do you expand your tourism network? I think that is one area which is still untapped in our country, where there are these beautiful places, historic places, places which have a lot of significance. But even locals also don't know the significance much, so that they can show it to people who are coming to that place. So when you have people coming in more and more into these cities, and city like Indore, you should be able to create a system. I'm sharing some ideas so that even within the IT, you can explore different areas where you can move into, so that you also grow economically. So one is the tourism sector, how to explore it. Once you have the footfall increasing through the airports, how do you bring in different kinds of tourism networks, tourism places attached, so that people who come not only see the existing places, but something new, something different, and go through a certain experience when they come to Indore. So tourism sector is another one. And now we are slightly moving into MRO space, which is also, I've seen that it is slightly untapped within the civil aviation network. When it comes to growing of the aircraft fleet, growing of airports, growing of passengers, I think no other country is able to catch up to us right now. But where we have to concentrate on, after me becoming the minister, I have also thoroughly studied that we have to look into the MRO sector. It is maintenance, repair and overhaul network. This is the major sector which is going to create a lot of jobs for the younger generation today. I am seeing that the MRO space, we are only able to do 15 to 20% in the country. there are 4 different segments in the MRO space. One is the base and line maintenance, which is very easy. 90 to 100% we are able to do in the country. We need basic aircraft engineers to do it, and that system is totally thorough and we are able to do it. But when it comes to engine or component maintenance, that is something which is not happening in the country as much as it should be. We have a huge aircraft fleet in the country, but whenever an engine maintenance situation comes in, or the plane maintenance situation comes in, we have to make the plane go to, or the part go to Dubai or Singapore or some other European country, and we are getting it done from there and bringing it back. So I am trying to see why can't we improve the MRO sector here itself. So that is one area in civil aviation that we are pursuing, that improve the MRO space itself so that it creates a much bigger potential to attract more jobs in the industry itself. And on top of that, we are increasing the aircraft fleet. We have 800 aircrafts presently in the country today. And how many orders do we have coming in the next 5 to 10 years? 1500 aircrafts. No other country has ordered so many aircrafts also. India has ordered 1500 aircrafts through different airlines. And each aircraft, if you count from ground handling, if you count all the indirect services that are required, direct services like pilot, crew and everything, each plane requires up to the tune of 300 people directly or indirectly working under them. So when you have a fleet of 1500 coming in, imagine the number of aircraft engineers that are required, pilots that are required, crew that are required, ground handling services that are required, other staff that is required. So the ticketing agencies that are required. So the number that is going to come in, the market should be able to facilitate for this increase in the number of aircrafts also. That is one space I am trying to promote. I am telling people that why don't you set up these training facilities so that as we increase the number of aircrafts that are coming in, we also have these world-class standard skilled force which will come into the workforce and try to facilitate for that. And on top of that, including the MRO space, we have the component manufacturing also. That is also something, for some reason, we have not been able to tap into as much as we should have. But I am seeing that Bangalore, like a city, what they have done is they have created a CES specifically for aircraft component manufacturing. And now they are reaping the benefits. It has become the component manufacturing hub in the country right now. And I would suggest a state like Madhya Pradesh also, where there are a lot of number of airports coming into the picture. Now we have in the future also, with the support of the state government, with the support of Honorable Chief Minister, he wants to bring in more airports into the network in Madhya Pradesh. And when you have these more airports coming in, I think what we should do is capitalize these airports into this job creation by adding in aircraft component manufacturing or different other areas. Because once you have the base of having an airport in the system, the attraction comes in. People will feel that there is some activity regarding civil aviation happening around here. So one or two of these locations can cater for component manufacturing, which our Honorable Prime Minister wants to promote in a very big way. Today we are seeing out of all the components that get manufactured in an aircraft, only 20 to 25% of those components are manufactured in India. And our dream is to push it up to 60 to 70%. So there is a lot of potential that is coming in. So I would also write to the state government that why don't we have these kind of zones where aircraft manufacturing also comes into place. And I'm seeing civil aviation, lot of other services also coming in. Now within the airports, now what I saw earlier was a person just coming to the airport and trying to connect to another place and just traveling from there. But now the airports are taking a lot of time for you. If you see in their travel schedule, you come 1-2 hours before to the airport, you're spending that much time there. And once you land, you will have another half an hour to 1 hour that you're spending in the airports. And there is airports, from the airports you're going to business meetings, from the airports you're going to your workplace. So these kind of situations are giving us an opportunity to come up with different business models where you can offer multiple services also. I'll give you a very basic, simple and practical example. When you're going to work from a certain airport, when you're carrying a big suitcase luggage with you because you have a 2-day trip, 2-day or 3-day trip, and you can't take your suitcase with you, but you have to take it because you have no other place to drop it off. So imagine a service comes in, someone saying that you just let me pick up your bag on your behalf. Wherever you're staying, I'll drop it for you at that place. And you can go visit your meetings and all. I'll have the check-in ready whenever you come to the hotel. Then I'm going to keep it ready. I'll keep your bag in this thing. This is one practical solution for people. I've seen that many people go through this process where they take the suitcase with them. They're going to these offices. They have to move the suitcase with them if they don't have a cab on their own. So these are the kind of practical solutions that we can have add on to the travel network that we have. How to personalize the airport services so that the passengers can feel a lot of convenience. There is a lot of ease of flying. So I say that why don't you explore into the civil aviation, the complete network, right from the airports to the MRO sector to the manufacturing. I'm just trying to promote more people to come into. I know you're all interested probably in IT, but I feel that airports and civil aviation network has a lot of potential for job creation. We need more youngsters to come into this space. We need more people to take that risk and to establish the foundation in this network so that we can become, not only in terms of having these people flying in civil aviation network, but also a strong foothold in complete all the verticals, right from manufacturing to the services. I think we need to capture the entire network for civil aviation, because civil aviation is one thing, it is not limited to any country. If you have some good idea that is working out in the country, you can spread it across to other countries also. That is the capacity that civil aviation has today. It is a totally global network. I feel just as you're looking at the IT services, you should strongly look into the civil aviation services. And for this very reason, after me becoming the minister, I wanted to specifically start a program so that I can invite people who are these startups or who are interested in civil aviation to come and meet me specifically along with my team in the ministry, and they can present me with their ideas and we can see what best we can do to them. I have called the program Spark at MOCA, SPARC, Startup Promotion and Research in Civil Aviation at MOCA is Ministry of Civil Aviation. So we are creating this program where anywhere in the country, just by messaging us, emailing us or doing a Google Sheet, they can tell us what their idea is, they can tell us what their business is, and we can sit as a team with them. We can bring in all the officers of the relevant people, sit with them and go through their idea, guide them, or use our experience to properly guide them in a certain direction, or any other support that is required. Whatever best we can do it from our ministry side also. I think I'll connect with Shankar Lalwani ji and the CII and Savan also, so that we can have some people from Indore also, some startups, so that they can present to us and we can see how that whole model works out. So I'm also really excited about it, and now that I'm seeing such a vibrant community coming from Indore, I would really like to partner with this community here and see that more people come into this civil aviation network. I would really encourage each and every one of you to strongly believe in that business that you're starting up with. Startups, I've seen that it's a very challenging task. And this is the time when you're just seeing the world. This is the time when you're just learning the basics of business. And it can be sometimes very discouraging also. But you look at the startups which have made successful, all the unicorns, they have gone through ups and downs. Don't look at that one single period or one single year and say, this is the idea that worked and this is what has put them there. It never works in that short term, this thing. It takes in a lot of effort. It takes in a lot of failures. It takes in a lot of experience. So whatever you're doing, if you really believe in that idea, I would say strongly stick on to it. This is the time for India to shine. This is the time for young Indians to shine. And I believe in all of you. You should believe in yourself. You should believe in the idea that you have. And the government, especially under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, is hell-bent that if the country has to move forward, more startups has to come. And I'm very much thankful for this this forum. What used to be 700 3 years back, the number you shared, 700, and now more than 3,500, 3,500. It's a huge progress. I think most cities would want this kind of figures to showcase, but I think Indore has achieved it. I really want to congratulate all the team members who have worked on this. It's a great achievement. You should utilize these kind of platforms to come together, discuss your ideas, encourage each other, collaborate and coordinate with each other, because the India that we want to see in the future is the India with the startups that we are going to do today. Now, there used to be a time it is still there. It is still there in a lot of the younger generation that we have. Their dream is to get a job, either a government job or some of the MNCs. They dream about having this job in front of the computer, sitting in a nice job, and having their path laid out for the next 20 to 30 years, a clear path on how we progress. 7 years in this position, next 7 years in some other, 8 years in some other. But how many jobs are we going to create like that? How much potential would we have? That is only going to lead us into a path which is going to be a path of confusion, which is going to be a path of not really achieving the true potential of the country. We should all think about being entrepreneurs. We should all think about having these startups. We should all think about the passion that we have and how to utilize it into a model, especially into a business model, so that we not only become self-sufficient, but we also provide jobs for many other people. So Indore, I really believe, has the capacity to do that. Indore has the idea because Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is an Abhiyan which has been run throughout the whole country. And no other city has achieved the success which Indore has achieved today. I have to be very honest about it. So there is something special in the air here. There is something special in the people here. If you really go after it, you can make it truly successful. One of the biggest challenges the country has been facing for years, that challenge you have unlocked and you have become successful in it. So what else is challenging for you? Swachh Bharat itself, if you go to other cities, people are still cracking. How do we do it? Every day motivation, every year motivation. October 2nd आते ही इतने सारे प्रोग्राम एक महीने तक चलते रहते हैं. एक महीने के बाद फिर वापस वही हो जाता है. बट इंदौर में 8 साल के बाद इतना अच्छा प्रोग्रेस आपने हासिल किया, तो जरूर कुछ तो है बात यहाँ पे. तो उसी तरह आप अपने स्टार्टअप्स में भी, you have to keep at it. You have to keep hitting at that point, hitting at that target continuously on what you do. I would only say that people, you might fail, but these are the learnings, stories for you. These are the stepping stones for success. And this is the time where you have to put in all your efforts, blood, sweat and energy, everything into the idea that you believe in, and you should move forward. There is a lot of support coming in from the central government in different ways. Let it be from the banks, let it be through the schemes, or let it be through any other different ideas that are flowing in. Even for manufacturing like PLI, which has been a revolutionary scheme. So many different ideas, because the government today, especially the central government, is listening to the people. They are taking feedback from the people. We are saying that what is it that's going to be really effective? Let us try to do that. This is the policy, this is the mantra that our Prime Minister Modi ji keeps following. He has his ears all across different forums and he takes in all these suggestions, all the opinions, and then he formulates the policy, which becomes a wonderful way of addressing the problems that we have in the country today. So from my side, I would only want to say that civil aviation is a booming sector. Within IT, there are multiple things that you can address in civil aviation. And if you require any kind of support, any guidance, I have already shared my program with you, and I will connect with your association here, and I'll give you an opportunity so that you can come to the ministry, you can talk with the officials there, you can share your ideas, and whatever best we have, we can definitely do it with you. And it is a wonderful, wonderful forum for each and every one of you. Now I am getting the idea that I should do something like this in my own state, in my own constituency also. I'm seeing the enthusiasm that is here, especially in the young generation. So I definitely feel that I have a lot to gain from attending this program. I have something to take away from here and go back to my constituency and do a similar program. And once I'm requesting that if some people can also come to my constituency and do a similar program, guide our youngsters there. I come from a very rural background. So I would request some people who want to interact with other people, other places, other kinds of other culture and all. I would give an open invitation today. Let us do some meeting where Indore and my constituency, Shri Rammohan, which is northern Andhra Pradesh, we should do something together and bring in, so that we have to see how India connects together. I'm connecting through the skies, but real connect will happen only when people meet each other. So let us make that happen in the future also. It's an open invitation to people who are interested. And I'd like to wish each and every one of you that is here the very best. I'd like to see all of you grow much, much taller, much, much higher, and achieve all the successes that you all dream to achieve. And this is the time when the whole world is looking at India. So believe in yourselves, believe in the government, believe in the leaders, believe in the system, and then utilize it to the maximum so that you can achieve what you really wanted to achieve. My sincere wishes to each and every one of you, and thank you again for bringing me here and making me participate in this wonderful event. Thank you so much.